In a small village nestled between rolling hills and vast savannas, there stood a towering baobab tree at the center of it all. The tree was ancient, its branches wide and strong, and for generations it had been the heart of the village. Elders said it was a tree of wisdom, a place where secrets were kept and promises made. Among the villagers, there was a young woman named Ayana, known for her beauty and kind heart. She had grown up hearing the stories of the baobab, and every day she would visit it after her chores. There she would sit beneath its shade, singing softly to herself as she dreamed of a love as deep and timeless as the tree itself. Then there was Kofi, a humble farmer who had long admired Ayana from afar. Kofi wasn't the richest man in the village, but he had something few others possessed: patience. He had watched Ayana bloom into the graceful woman she was, always wanting to speak to her, but never finding the right moment. One fateful afternoon, a festival was being held in the village to celebrate the harvest season. The baobab tree was adorned with colorful fabrics and lanterns that flickered as the sun began to set. As people danced and sang around the tree, Kofi stood back, watching Ayana as she laughed with her friends, her smile lighting up the night. He knew this was the moment. It was now or never. Gathering his courage, Kofi approached the tree. As Ayana noticed him, she paused, curious but welcoming. He stood before her, a little nervous, and offered her a small hand-woven basket filled with wildflowers he had gathered from the fields. "Ayana," he began, his voice steady but soft. "These flowers may not be as beautiful as you, but they carry the essence of the land we both call home. I've admired you for so long, and if you would allow me, I'd like to walk through this life with you by my side, just like the baobab stands strong, always protecting the village." Ayana was taken aback. No one had ever spoken to her with such sincerity, and her heart fluttered at the tenderness in his words. She smiled warmly and accepted the flowers, feeling the weight of his love in that simple gesture. But in the village, love wasn't always straightforward. There were customs and expectations. Ayana's family had long been promised to another wealthy family in a neighboring village, and she knew the path ahead would not be easy. Days passed, and Ayana found herself visiting the baobab tree more often, hoping to see Kofi. They would meet there in secret, sharing stories, hopes, and dreams beneath the massive branches. Each day, their love grew stronger, like the roots of the tree that held the earth firm beneath their feet. But the pressure from her family weighed heavily on Ayana's heart. They expected her to marry the wealthy suitor, a man she barely knew, let alone loved. One evening, as the sun dipped low on the horizon, Kofi and Ayana sat beneath the baobab tree, the air thick with the scent of the evening breeze. Ayana's eyes brimmed with tears as she told Kofi of her family's wishes. "I don't want a life where my heart is not my own," she said, her voice breaking. "But I'm afraid I have no choice." Kofi reached out and gently took her hand in his. "Ayana, the baobab has stood here for centuries, and no storm, no drought has ever taken it down. Our love is like this tree, it is strong. Let's ask the ancestors for guidance." That night, they performed a quiet, humble ceremony beneath the baobab. They offered gifts of fruit and grain, asking the spirits of the tree and the land to bless their union. As they whispered their vows to each other, a soft breeze rustled through the tree's branches, almost as if the ancestors had heard their plea. The next day, something remarkable happened. Ayana's family, who had been so set on her marrying the wealthy suitor, suddenly changed their minds. They couldn't explain why, but they felt a peace wash over them and realized Ayana's happiness was more important than wealth or status. With the villagers' blessing, Ayana and Kofi were wed beneath the baobab tree, surrounded by the people they loved. And as the years passed, their love only deepened, just like the ancient tree that had witnessed their journey from the very beginning. The villagers still tell the story of Ayana and Kofi, the couple whose love was as strong as the baobab, a love that grew, endured, and stood the test of time.